All right, let's do this. 2023 TurboTax stream here. Got a couple things we're going to cover today. Got some redacted documents that we can go through, give some examples on. And then if I get any questions, I'll go ahead and answer those. I know I had a couple questions from some comments on some other videos, and I think I'm going to address those here and then maybe use those as standalone videos for themselves. I'm going to start out with one of those, which is the essentially solar tax credit that you got last year and didn't use all of it. So there's a carryover for the current year. So let's do that one. I kind of erased my whole TurboTax so we can kind of start fresh again. I'm going to enter in a W-2 so I at least have some income information on there so we can at least see this credit kind of come into play. So let's get it done here. Pull out that W-2 and let's look at my lovely screen. Voila, there's a W-2 and there's TurboTax. Let's do it. Let's put some wage and income information in there. So W-2, basic, easy, here we go. Come on, start loading here. All right, so let's get in the W-2. I'm gonna say this is my W-2. And the EIN, which should come from right here, this guy right here, right, which we don't have. Okay, I'm going to just make up a number here. Boom, boom, there we go. Okay, continue. Box 1. Okay, change how I enter my info. I guess you could probably just upload this, but I'll just manually type this stuff in here. There we go. Okay, box 1, importing your taxes, importing your info. Okay, here we go. Oh, upload it. Here we go. Let's get this thing in there. See how this thing works. Continue and drag and drop. There we go. Awesome. Okay, let's see what this thing looks like. Let's double check, make sure everything looks okay here. Well, we all know this is all redacted anyways, but I would double check on your end if you're going to do that. All right, and then here we go. This is the good stuff here. So we are going to split the screen, double check. All right, those look good. Box 1 and box 2. Those are all looking good. Now the state information, there it is down here. Okay, this all looks good. Let's take a look at what happens, continue, I'm just going to go through this. Here we go. When we try and do the solar, all right, so this is from my tax software that I just kind of quickly generated here, but this is so let's see here. I'm going to start back again. We'll do this as a presentation here. Okay. All right, so if you took the solar credit last year, but you didn't get to use the whole amount, and there's a carryover information, you should have this form 5695, looks a little something like this, and there should be a number on there that gets carried forward to 2023 that we get to use. All right, so let's take a look at how we get this done in TurboTax. All right, so 5695, let's say, right, we paid $35K for our solar system. Of that, right, 30% we get to use as a credit. But because of our income tax situation, right, we didn't get to use the whole thing. So we only got to use, let's say, some of it, and the rest of it, you'll see here, gets carried forward to 2023. So let's see how we do this on TurboTax. I'm assuming we go to credits and deductions. Let's see here. I'm going to have to scroll and find this because I'm not quite sure exactly where this thing is. Let's see here. Where is it? Solar. I'm just going to type solar. Oh, come on. Energy. Home energy credits. There we go. That's what we'll call this. Start. Look at that. We'll see if you qualify and also check if there are any carry forwards. That's what it is. We have a carry forward. Did you make improvements or have carry forwards? Yes, we have the carry forward, right? Hit that continue button. Did we live in the same home in 23? Yes, we live together. Okay, that's because we're filing joint here. Energy saving improvements. Is the home located in the U.S.? Yep, it's in the U.S. Were the improvements made to your main home? Yep, that's my main home. Oh, geez. Questions. Were there any of these improvements related to the construction of your home? I'm going to say no. They were not part of the construction of the home. Okay. Are the original user the energy on your home? Are you the original user? Yeah, so I paid for it and I'm the original one. Yep, that's me. Hit yes. Continue. Improvements reasonably expected to remain in use. Yep, it's reasonably expected to remain in use for the next 5 years. So here we go. Let's do it here. So tell us how much of these improvements you made in 23. 23, we didn't do any of these. So we hit continue, right? None of these also in 23. We didn't do any of this in 23 either. Come on. Did you have any residential engineering? No, I didn't have anything in 23. It was all in 22. Here we go. Yes, I have a carry forward. So there we go. Now we take a look at that form, right? We're going to go back into our 2022 tax return, scroll down, and see that line 16 right there, 6256. We're just going to add that right in there, right? 6256. Voila. And this thing is going to hopefully work. Look at that. Nice. So we have that much of that. I'm assuming the rest is going to be carried forward to 2024. And that's essentially because there's not enough income on this return or tax on this return for us to utilize this credit. This credit is what we call non-refundable, and that's why this is happening. Nonetheless, that's how we get it done. All right, let's move on to something else. If you have any questions for me, feel free to leave a question in the chat box. I can go over your particular situation. Or if you're using TurboTax, you want to help out our channel, be sure to click the link in the description below, as it helps me a little bit. I get a little chunk of the change there. There's no difference in your price in TurboTax, but nonetheless, it helps me out, helps me continue to make these videos, helps more people in maybe your situation here. All right, let's take a look at a different scenario. What else can we do today? We could do some mortgage interest deductions. Let's take a look at those. I'm going to make sure we redacted these things properly. This one looks good so far, so good. Deal. Let's take a look at this. So we're going to input mortgage interest deduction. Let's do that screenshot. Here we go. So here's the what we call the 1098, right? You have to get it from the lender if you have a mortgage. So your mortgage broker, we would get that from them. And this is what it spits out, okay? So let's take a look at this one. Let's try and get this into TurboTax. So here we go. Mortgage interest credit certificate. No. Not property tax. We should have the mortgage interest. Just going to search this one again. Mortgage. There we go. Your home. Here we go. Interest refinancing. Boom. Revisit. Let's do it. Make sure I am streaming my, yep, I am. Good deal. So let's see here. Okay. Did you pay any home loans? Yes, we did. We got a 1098. Let's do it. Next year, automatically import them from your thing. I'm going to say, no, I don't want to do this. I'm going to do it myself. I don't actually file these returns. These things are all just bogus returns. Okay, change how I enter it. I'm not going to log in. I'm going to hit change, and I'm going to upload it from my computer. Hit continue, and then drag and drop this 1098 in there. Okay, come on, TurboTax, what you got for me? And as we wait, all right, let's go. The lender, we're going to say, is the bank. Hit continue. Any of these uncommon situations apply. Someone who isn't my spouse co-owns this loan, and we only paid for a portion of it. Sellers, no, none of these uncommon situations apply. Okay, deal. There we go. Well, now we're going to double check that, hey, we did actually get these numbers captured properly, or at least TurboTax did, right? Here we go. Let's go split these screens here. Come on, TurboTax. There we go. So let's double check. Numbers are proper, right? Box 1 looks good. Box 2, there it is. Well, box 2 is not correct, right? Let's change that. 370, 835, oops, 0.79. Oops. There it is. Okay, that looks good. Everything else, nothing else really on here, right? That's it. Oh, taxes paid, so we can get that in there, right? Let's make sure we get this proper as well here. Okay, real estate taxes, right? We saw that in there. It was 87.8509, so we'll round up with the 60 cents. 8509.63, right? There we go. Okay, deal. Continue. Is the loan secured by your own property? Yes. I mean, generally this is a yes, okay? And you can actually find that out, here, this guy here. But generally speaking, these are yeses here, okay? Or it'll have the address right here, or it'll just be like that, check the box if the address here is the same. Nonetheless, here we go. Continue. What kind of property is it for? This is my main home, I'm going to say. Did you pay points? In this case, no, we didn't. We paid points to refinance purchase loan, or we already deducted those, we'll say. Okay. Is the 1098 the most recent of your loans? We're going to say yes on this. Let's get some details about this loan. Let us help you know how much interest you can deduct on this. Is this a home equity? No. None of these. This is neither of these. Neither a refinance of a previous loan, and it's not a home equity. Thanks. There we go. Continue. And voila. We got that on the tax return. Okay. Let's see. What else can we get on this tax return? I have. Okay, this is another one. Let's say I have a second home. How about that? We got a second home, and now we're going to run into the issue. You know what? I'm going to say this is another primary home that we have, okay? We have another primary home, but now we're going to run into the issue of the max that we can deduct on a home loan, because the IRS now says, if you have a mortgage that was originated, I believe is after 2017, 18 and forward, I believe is what it is, we can only deduct the interests allocated, apportioned, attributed to $750,000 of the loan. Anything over that, we cannot deduct. So there's like essentially fractions when you have like a really big home loan, okay? So let's say, for instance, we take a look at this 1098 here, right, where we have a mortgage that is $843,000, right? No chump change there. And yeah, we can't take all that $13,000 of the interest off of the return. So let's do this here. So back into TurboTax, right? We click on the deductions and credits to enter in the information for the 1098 mortgage interest, okay? And where do we do this? Here we go. Mortgage interest refinancing, add edit. Let's do it here. So I'll say, yep, we got a 1098 for this thing. And I'm going to change how I enter it because I'm just going to drag and drop from my computer. So here it goes. Drag and drop. Well, not there. I'm going to hit continue and then do the drag and drop. There we go. And TurboTax is going to work its magic. And I'm going to say this is coming from the bank. And none of these uncommon situations apply. The seller is financing this loan. Seller didn't finance it. Someone who is my spouse co-owns this loan, we only pay a portion of it. No, neither of these uncommon situations apply. So, well, I can already tell there's an issue here. So let's make sure we do this properly here, okay? So box 1 says 13,13428.79, right? Outstanding 843,387.5. Origination. Oh, at least I got that one right. Wow, those two. Okay, deal. Anything else on this thing? Let's see here. Okay, it doesn't have the property taxes either. Okay, Deal. No property taxes on this one. So essentially, property taxes were not impounded on this mortgage. Okay, deal. There we go. We're going to hit continue. Is this loan secured by your own property? We can say, yep, this is my primary home. Continue. Primary home. Yep, continue. Did you pay points? I think there are points on this one, right? I think we got that. No, insurance premiums. No, so there's no points. We don't have any points or didn't pay any points. Okay. Yeah, this is the most recent of the loans. We'll say this is the only one, right? For simplicity here. Let's get some details. This loan is home equity. This loan is refinance. No, neither of these apply. Continue. Right now, the standard actually saves you the most taxes. Okay. Well, what about for... Well, that's right now. Oh, geez. Okay. Let's do property tax. Let's just kind of input some property tax. So in this case, I know we had to go on to the county website to get the property taxes because they weren't impounded out of the mortgage. So I actually had to go into the county, pull those records, which I believe we do have. Yeah, okay, so there it is. Okay, I'll just show you kind of what we got here. That is what we got from the county. So you have to see, what was paid actually in 2023. So we have all of these paid in 23. So we can kind of just quickly tally these up here, right? 6381 plus 2752 plus 2247. So there we go, $14,000. Let's do that. Let's get this into here. We'll go to deductions and credits. Where's my property tax at? There we go, edit, property taxes, right? And we can say, did you pay property taxes? Yes, we did. On my main home. Property taxes, where is my calculator? 14,134, right? 14,134. Additional homes, 0, foreign, nothing. Okay, deal. Continue. There you go. Standard is still better than itemizing. Why is this not making me do? Okay, I'm a little concerned here now. Let's make sure we edit this one. Continue. Okay. This should tell me about that 750. It's not doing it properly. Okay. Why do I need this? You should have that. Interest you can deduct. Okay, well, that's because maybe also the standard deduction issue. Well, in that case, let's just put some donation stuff in there to kind of force the issue here, okay? Because I want to show how we get that limit on the mortgage interest that is getting applied here. All right, let's do that. Donations to charity. Let's just do like a cash donation. Review all charities, add a charity. We'll say this is, who did you donate to? We'll say church. What did you donate? Money. Let's say 15,000. Let's say 20,000. One time. Make it easy. Here we go. Boom. Done. Done. Done with donations. And voila. Okay. Add edit. This is still not getting done properly. Interesting. Continue. Are there different requirements for loans over 750? Right, this is what I'm talking about. Right, 2018 is when this came into play. Right, there it is. Can only deduct over 750. Okay, so deal. Right, so I'm not quite sure. Continue. Wait. Mortgage origination. Let's see. Deal. Continue. Yes. Primary home. Yes. We've already deducted the recent loan. Tax return already includes this deduction. Oh man, I'm gonna have to look into this because this is not making sense to me. TurboTax, I really wanted to illustrate this one today. TurboTax mortgage interest deduction, $750. There we go. Let's see what happens. How are we supposed to do this TurboTax? Okay. How to limit mortgage interest TurboTax. Interest limit. There we go. Okay, what do we say? How do we do this? Because I know this is not getting done 100% properly here. Okay, best answer. Okay, let's take a look. Right, we're supposed to have the worksheet. I've seen this worksheet many times. Where's the worksheet within TurboTax with multiple homes? Mortgage interest deduction limit. Okay, I'm going to have to look into this. Maybe I can make a video another day here, because this is not kind of coming up, which is kind of funky why they don't kind of show us how to do this thing here. It's kind of a bummer. Okay, let's look into something else then. We'll do, ooh, this one's kind of a rare one. Now, let's do something a little more common, like a 529 plan. How about that? If you have a 529 plan for your kids, your grandkids, and you get a 1099-Q because, oh my God, come on, mouse, because, you use some of that 529 plan in the year, then I'm going to show you kind of how we do this, kind of learning on the fly with TurboTax here. I know they're supposed to look on the return, but nonetheless, okay, you get something. There's our 529, the 1099-Q. That's the name of this form, okay? So if you got let's try that one more time, huh? How about this? Screen self-shot. All right, if you have a 529 plan and you use some of this for either your kid or your grandkids or someone you got a 529 plan for and they're starting to go to school and you got to use some of the 529 plan for their school, you got a 1099-Q. Here's how we get this done on TurboTax. Deal. Looks something like this, right? 1099-Q, and they, spent $800 of this thing, and of the $300 that they put in, look at that, they made some money on this thing. That's pretty cool, actually, how this stuff works. But nonetheless, let's get this done on TurboTax. Let's do wages and incomes. Let's go 1099-Q. No? Okay. Thanks. That makes sense. Okay, we'll say 529 maybe? 529. No. Okay. Thank you. Back to personal info. How do we get more then on here? Here we go. Okay. Other common, less common. Here we go. This is probably where it is. Miscellaneous income. There it is, 529, okay? So, again, just so you can kind of see where I went. We were at the wages and income. We scroll down, all the way down, right? We hit that less common income. I hit that miscellaneous income, hit revisit, or I guess start in this case. Scroll down here, and there it is, 529, or that 1099-Q. All right, so here it is. Were you the beneficiary? So in this case, no, they're not the beneficiary. This went to a grandkid, I believe is what this one was. So no, not the beneficiary. Did you receive for distributions from or qualified tuition program? Yes, they did. Who was shown as the recipient? We'll say I was shown as the recipient. I received this, but I wasn't the beneficiary. Who's the student? Someone else not listed here, we'll say. We'll say grandkid. Grandkid. One word. Continue. And let's see here. And then you just have to fill, I guess, this out. There's no like drag and drop type deal. Okay. Well, in this case, let's take a look at this one. What's this look like? We would have EIN number, shoot, right there. That's probably where that was. Okay. So we'll just kind of fill this in. 1, 2, 3. Why yada yada. Bank. 1, 2, 3. Newport. There we go. I'll just fill it out. Come on. Okay. And then we have to fill out the boxes, right? We take a look at the boxes here. 823, 25. 823, 25. The next one was 515.41, and the base is 307.84. We'll say this is a state, as you see on here. This is a state program here. Type of program. Take a look. There it is, right there. Okay. And recipient is not a designated beneficiary. Okay, and that's it. Continue. State sponsor, California. That's where we are. Tell us if this distribution was received because the beneficiary died or became disabled. No, neither of those. Distribution transfer was all a part of this rolled over to another qualified. No, it was not. This was used. Refund of education. Did you receive a refund of qualified such as, no, none of that. Did not, grandkid did not get a refund. Okay, there it is. So this is actually going to get added. Now we have to put as a, surprising how they don't just like automatically ask for that now, because there should be some related student expenses to this thing. So I would have to search maybe education expense. Let's see here, education expense. Okay, deal. Okay, well, that's not it. Maybe I come over here, deductions and credits. Interest, let's see here. Donations. Expenses and scholarships. Boom. Let's do this one. Okay, do you want to enter? Yes, we do. We want to enter it. Which person was a student? Well, none of them were student. Don't see a name listed here. Let's see here. You can't claim an experience for who isn't your dependent. If you don't see your dependents list here, we recommend. Well, that's not true. We should be able to. Well, I guess in this case, to get that credit, that's true. Okay, let's go back. Man, I'm really running into walls here today. Well, I guess you live and learn, huh? Okay, education, we should hit that 1099Q. That should be going into, because this should be, I want to see that return. All right, give me a second. Let's see what happens with the return in this case so we can, I guess, fix this 1099Q, because just putting that information in is not proper, that we should be able to even add the expense for someone that is not a dependent when we get a 1099Q. Okay, let's do this. Continue. I'm going to just hit file by mail so I can take a look at this. File by mail, save. Continue. Continue printing without fixing. And let's see what we got. Download this thing. What does this thing look like? Come on. Screenshot. Here we go. Tax return. Boom. Look at this thing. All right, so there it is, 515. See, I knew this was done improperly. See, it's putting that $500 of that earnings from this 1099Q when it didn't even ask me if I spent this money, which we did. And that's generally how we have to get this on the return. So that is not correct. There should be something on here. What exactly is that form? Page down. Oh, page down here. Let's see what happens. No, it's not that. Right, there's that 515. There it is. They're not subject to additional tax. This is where that should go. There should be like a worksheet for Okay. We have to figure this out then. Deal. I will figure it out. Wages and incomes, federal view. Let's see what happens when I do the upgrade later. Continue. No. And get the rest of my info. Let's go here. Childcare dependent credits. This should be it right here. Man, I'm not even quite sure because like the only thing I can see is if I were to click my own, like as if this was my own education or someone that's on my return, but that's not correct. We should be able to do, go back. Credits, other tax situations. Let's see what's in here. Alternative menu. Forms, no. Amend prior, report share dependent. Report a change of address, request a copy. Prepare, no. All right, well. There should be a way to do this here. Wait, so there it is. How did I do that? Edit. Who is shown on there, right? Someone else. Okay, deal. So, okay, who is shown on there? The 1099Q, someone else not listed here. Deal. Who's the student? Someone else. You do not need to report this form. Wait, what? Okay, wait. I did that wrong. Who is shown as a recipient? I was shown as a recipient. Okay. Someone else not listed here was a student. Continue. Ah, there we go. Thank God. Here we go. This is now how we get rid of this thing. I don't know why it took a while to get to do this here. So how do we do this again? We have the 1099Q. It's already entered in here. There it is. Add, edit this thing. So I go into here and I hit continue. Okay, we've already answered these properly. Yep. And then I'm going to hit edit this thing. Yes. Who's shown as the recipient? I was shown as the recipient. Okay, I got it for my grandkid. Someone else that's not listed on my return. Okay, deal. Who's these expenses paid for? The grandkid. There we go. Select. Ah, there we go. Continue. We're making headway. Payments generally reported. If you have more, enter the first one. Okay, deal. This is all done. Recipient is not designated beneficiary. Distributions. Oh, how did I miss that? Okay, so this should be on here. Maybe that's why this is not getting generated here. There should be a distribution, right? Where is it? Box. Distribution code, if any. I guess there's no distribution code here. California? Wait, what happened? I just previously had this. Refund of education expenses. No. Oh, how did I do that? Who's shown as a recipient? Yes. If I did this, then it's going to probably... Man, how did I get there? Oh my God, I need to like rewind on my stream here. Ah! Okay. What did I do? No. Okay. Oh my God, I just had it. How did I miss that? And I go back and then I miss it. Ay, ay, ay. No. No. Okay, come on. Come on. I can figure this out. Who was shown in the return? Okay, there you go. I'm going to drive myself crazy. If I click Ebony, who's the student? Ebony. Then I hit continue. What happens here? Man, I am going to drive myself bananas doing something like this. This should be something that, okay. Well, I guess it is what it is. Let's try a new one, huh? What did I do? Oh my gosh. Going bananas. Okay, I'm going to have to come back to this thing. This is not getting done properly still. Man, TurboTax, great product. Sometimes. Sometimes. Okay, let's see what else I got here. What else can we work on? Because we should be able to add the expenses that we have from the student so we'd not tax on this thing like it was showing here on my tax return that I had. Where did that go? Right here. Additional taxes, it should be a Schedule 1. There it is, right? See, this is incorrect right here. Incorrect. All right, well, we're going to just keep on chugging along here. I'm going to have to come back to this. Man, it's another thing that I could not figure out in TurboTax. So I have to come back and I have to figure out the mortgage interest deduction limit. And then I have to also come back and do the 1099-Q to be able to, how do we get that education expense for someone that's not on my return? Because we still should be able to get this to remove this 529 plan from being taxable. Let's say if I paid, $800 for supplies on this thing. Not quite sure why it's not allowing me to do that. I just saw it too. That's a crazy thing. And then I hit back. Of course I hit back. Who's shown on the return, right? That's depending on the circumstance of the recipient, will be either the account owner or the account beneficiary. So let's say I own the account. Who's the student? Let's say it's my grandkid. Not on my tax return, it's my grandkid. Okay, deal. Continue. Select the student whose educations were paid from. Yeah, so there we go. Do delete. Let's try a new one. Yes. Okay. Let's add. Add a new student. Grandchild. Okay. This is all done properly. Okay. State tuition. Yeah, exactly. Wants to hire a professional instead. When I use my software, it's so much easier than using TurboTax. I can just kind of crank through this, and when we have like our professional software, we can just like go to this and just like enter this into our software. Like we don't have to go through all these questions here. Continue. No. Refund of education expenses. No, there's no refund of education. Did you receive a refund, right? Such as tuition reimbursement from, no, we didn't do that. And now it wants to tax us on this. Definitely gonna have to come back and figure this one out. Okay, well, I guess I have some other examples, hopefully, that we can figure out now. What about an HSA? Let's do maybe something simple, huh? HSA. Let's do wages and income. So if we got an HSA, here we go. How does an HSA work? You were offered an HSA program through your employer and you used some of your HSA. Well, you're going to get a 1099. Looks something like this. It says 1099 SA for the HSA distribution, okay? Now, this should not be taxable because you should use this for medical expenses. So here we go. Let's try and figure this one out. We'll just say, maybe if I just type in HSA. Oh, there it is. Nice. HSA, 1099 SA. There it is. Start. I have an HSA. Continue. Did you use your HSA to pay for anything? Yes, we did. Payer's name. So I'm just going to put bank. Doesn't really matter. This does come on the HSA right here, though. If you have any questions for me, you want to work on your situation, I could do my best. Just, let me know throw that in the chat box. Maybe I can work on your situation, see what you got. I probably have examples of any of this stuff, so. Or if I can't figure it out right now, I'll make a video and throw this up here for you guys later, for everyone to kind of use here. Okay, so there's, right, that information needs to go in here, but obviously it's all redacted. I'm just going to put in some numbers, blah, blah, blah. Continue. Yep, goes to me. Gross distribution. So we look at box 1, right? What does it say? 415.94. 415.94. Excess. There's nothing else on this thing. This is generally what I see when we do these things. Okay, hit continue. Distribution code, so it should say 1 is generally what we see. So let's take a look at that one, right? 1 distribution code right there. Box 3. Boom. Continue. Did you spend your HSA on medical? Yes, that's all I used it for. It's tax-free if you did. Boom. There you go. Okay, deal. So that got done properly. I saw this thing change. We can always kind of go here to check, right? File. This is how I kind of double check the work on TurboTax. I click that file button, go to here to continue, file by mail, continue printing without fixing. So then I can actually look at the actual return to see what's going on here. Did it get done properly? So there should be a form 8889, I believe, T. Let's see here. Let's go down now, Schedule A. There it is, right? You'll see that number right there from the HSA, that 416, right? And then box, or what is that, line 15. All of it is medical. None of it is taxable. So we want to make sure we see this. Whoops. Maybe my name was, or my face was in the way there. I can make my face a little bit smaller. Makes it a little easier when we do this. Oh, I can't change it while we're live. Okay. Nonetheless, there it is. The 416, right? Line 16, most important. Taxable, 0. Boom. All right, so that's done properly. All right, what else we got? That one was easy. Say we got Social Security, huh? Voila, Social Security. Look at that. Let's get that into TurboTax. See if I can just type in social. Oh, there it goes. All right. Well, I don't know if you saw that, but nonetheless, there it is. Scrolled all the way down. I just typed in that box right there, social, right? And it popped up. I hit that little caret and hit that Social Security button right there. Revisit. Boom. Okay. Did you receive? Yes, we did. Tell us about the benefit. It was Social Security. And let's fill this out. So we're looking here. Box 5, 22095. There it is. And then what else do we have? Voluntary withholdings. I'm not quite sure if we did on this one or not. Let's look. Should we dial? Oh, there it is. Most people don't, but 4861 we'll put there. Okay. It's usually important also that we put the Medicare. Yeah, there it is. Medicare. Oh, come on. Okay, I guess it wasn't on this one. Of course. I think this taxpayer got 2 of them. So let's say we put some Medicare in there. You would definitely, so this is, by the way, where we would check for that Medicare that you were paid for. It should be somewhere like right here. So make sure you look there and you do put that in because that would be like a Schedule A itemized deduction. Let's say like $1,000. Deal. And that's essentially it, right? Did you receive lump sum payments? Say no, it's kind of rare, but this does happen. I've seen this before for like a prior year because you like applied for it late or something like that. I think is generally how that works. And there we go. Boom. That's in there. Again, how do we check if that got reported properly? We go click that file button. And then continue. Continue. I hit file by mail just so I could see these things get printed. Continue without fixing. And let's see here, download this thing. All right, so we'll be able to see the Social Security on the 1040. Where is it? There it is, right? So it's matching 22095. It's getting done, right? There we go. 22095. Voila. And we should see that 4861 down here as a payment. There it is. Done. There we go. Tax withholdings from 1099s. So that was done properly. You'll see of the 22, right? Should be like what, 85%, I think is the max that Social Security tax is taxed on. 22, well, let's do this. The math. 18781 divided by 22095. There it is, 85%. Boom. This is done properly. That's good. Okay, easy. What else we got? Let's see here. Property tax. Okay, well, I've kind of covered all. Oh, if we get like one of these, this is kind of random. This is rare. Someone kind of got this. I believe this is like a settlement through some type of lawsuit, essentially. But they got a 1099 miscellaneous. You'll see it's listed as other income. Again, this was like a lawsuit that someone got. And let's try and get this thing into TurboTax. 1099 miscellaneous. Let's do this. Wages and income. Come on, where's that miscellaneous? Let's go. 1099 MIS, of course. Missed a 9. There we go. There it is. Okay, deal. 1099 miscellaneous. Let's try and get this thing in there. Yeah, we got a 1099 miscellaneous. Yes, we did. Okay. For me, who paid you? We'll say other income, right? We're just going to take a look at this thing. It's actually a good settlement, huh? 15,000, 15,190. We'll get that in there, right? 15,190. Hit continue. Describe the reason. We'll say this was for a settlement. Lawsuit. Sweet. Does any of these uncommon situations? No. Owned a farm? Do I want a farm? One day, maybe. Move out of the city. This money was from a lawsuit settlement. Voila. Look at that. Boom. Was any part of the lawsuit signed for back wages? No. We'll say no. Continue. Did either of you have another? Nope. That's it. That's all we got. This is like a taxable one. This wasn't one of those like for personal injury or anything like that. So there we go. We'll double check, see if this thing got put on the return properly. I hear they make it so hard to take a look at the return like this. We should be able to like easily just go like look at the 1040 itself. But I guess that would confuse people and not make TurboTax easy. I don't know. Download. All right, let's do this here. So it should be on the 1040. Should be listed as other income. Let's go. Schedule 1. There it is. See statement. 15,000. There it is. So let's make sure. Voila, right? 15,190. Okay, well, the reason it's not 15,190 because we had that, oh my gosh, that error that I had from earlier. So there should be a statement here. Let's take a look at the statement. It should be listed on there. There's like a negative. Yeah, so there it is, 15,190. Deal. So I need to fix this because we know this is done improperly. Okay, deal. Well, that got done right. Deal. I think That concludes like all my material for today. Unfortunately, man, two things I got stuck on. I'm going to try one more time to take a look at that 529 plan. 529, right? Revisit this thing. Were you the beneficiary? No. Did you receive? Yes. Continue. Okay. Edit. Because I did say edit, did I not? There's nowhere else to put. Oh my gosh. Edit. Yeah, I was a recipient. Someone else was the student. Was not used to pay for education expenses. Let's see. Let's try this again. Child 2, maybe? Oh, 2. Oh, whoops. Too many times. Continue. Okay, this is right. Okay. Okay. Continue. Let's see, because no. Man, I cannot believe this is getting done improperly here. Man, okay. Well, I'm going to have to come back to this. How to input 1099 Q TurboTax. Come on. Answer my question. Online. Select search and jump to 1099Q. You can also go to federal, deductions and credits, then education. Okay. Well, let's try that. Deductions and credits. Oops. Get back on my screen here. Well, that's where I was, and I did do that. Let me see, where do I enter this? Oops, Control V. Enter education expenses. 1099Q. See what pops up here. An abandoned child's tax return. Well, let's see what happens. Maybe this will give me a guide on how this is done. Okay, that's not proper. Okay. I have entered a 1099Q for qualified educational expenses. I'm a full-time student. However, TurboTax is incorrectly making it taxable. Yeah, this is what's happening to mine. If your distributions did not exceed your qualified education expenses, then you do not have to enter information at all. But if it did, read on for explanations on what might trigger taxable. I thought we were supposed to report that, though. This is what I'm talking about. Box 1 will report the total distributions from the education program for the year, regardless of whether the funds are sent directly to the school. Well, they're saying I don't have to report this thing. I'm gonna have to double check on this because I'm not quite sure I believe this. It doesn't even give sources on on this stuff. That's crazy. Just like writes it. All right, well. Reviewed by TurboTax CPA. Look at that. Wow. Doesn't even give a name. Okay. All right, well, there it is. I did my best here, guys. I think I'm going to make a video on how to do this properly moving forward because this is kind of getting on my nerve here. And the other thing I want to do is make a video on that mortgage interest deduction because that's also not getting done properly here, which is incorrect. Well, if the video was helpful for you guys, this stream at all, I don't know, or have any ideas on any other topics you want me to go over on TurboTax, be sure to leave a comment. Let me know. I'll make sure to make a video on these things. If you're using TurboTax, use my link. Help me out by clicking that, and still pay the same price for TurboTax that you would regardless, but I get a little chunk of the change. All right, well, thank you so much, guys. Have a good night.